Oh, hey, quick little tailgate pro tip for you. Let's talk Matchsavers real quick. What is a Matchsaver? Matchsaver is a hard-mounted shell holder on the side of your gun that holds exactly one shell, and it's oriented towards your chamber. It's designed to help you around a bolt lock reload. The term comes from Matchsaver being you shot all your ammo, you're at the end of the stage, you need one more shot, and it's the one you can get in there quickly to finish your stage. A good Matchsaver reload is sub-second. I do them about 0.8, 0.9 without a whole lot of practice. So they are very quick if you have the technique and the presence of mind to use one. But I wanted to point out a couple things. I often see them. They're very common to see in action shotgun matches. However, it's also very common that people use them incorrectly. So a few things to think about if you're going to put one of these on your gun. First, have it loaded. All right, if it's just hanging out on the side of your gun and it doesn't have a shell in it, it's not helping you. All right, so when you make ready, first thing I do when I get out of the car or when I load at a preload table, I put a shell in there, because if it's not loaded, it can't help you, and you'll realize that when you need it most. So number one mistake people make is not loading that thing. Number two mistake is people will panic. They'll, oh yeah, my Matchsaver, throw it in there, burn the round, and then they're at bolt lock again and they still have a ton of shooting to do. This is only a get around for something like an activated clay. So I went empty on an activator and a disappearing target is coming. If I can load this fast enough, I can still get around that problem. At the end of the stage, instead of indexing and loading 4 more shells, if I only need one, boom, I can get one more in there. But you have to be smart about when you use it, all right? This is for emergencies, or this is to get into your chamber so that you can unlock your lifter and index the magazine, all right? There's a lot of fancy techniques around bolt lock reloads where people like karate chop this thing and then they have to get it loaded again. This is the way around all that. Put one shell in, load as normal to get back on plan, all right? But if you're in the middle of a stage and you just randomly throw that thing in there and shoot it, you might as well have just quadded more ammunition, all right? So it's just a workaround. But those are the biggest things we see. Using them at the wrong time or not having them loaded. Positioning wise, you want to try and have it oriented as close to the chamber as you can. You're somewhat subject to the material they give you to mount it on, but the straighter in line I could get it oriented to my ejection port, so it's just a straight line to pull it in there, the better. And then the other thing is I want to make sure that I have it far enough out on the handguard that I still have room to index my charging handle, all right? Because I work my charging handle a lot more than I work my Matchsaver, but it kind of closes this thing in to where it makes this kind of crowded workspace. So I don't want it so far away that it's in the way of where I want my hand, but I want enough clearance in there so that I can access my charging handle to do charging handle things. But those are the most common things I see people doing incorrectly with Matchsavers. They are a very handy tool if you use them correctly, but put some thought into when and how you're going to use them. And more than anything, like a carry gun, if it ain't loaded, it ain't helping you. So make sure you put a shell on that thing of the correct type, all right? Make sure your Matchsaver shell is a slug if you're shooting a slug stage, buckshot if you're shooting a buckshot stage, or it's birdshot. Make sure whatever shell that is the right one, because it's easy to just put one on there in the beginning of the day and not think about it. But make sure it's loaded. Make sure it's loaded with the right ammunition, and only use it when it's going to help you. And there's quite a few times that it can help you quite a bit, but incorrectly, it's just going to prolong your suffering. Just some thoughts on Matchsavers. See you on the range soon.